that you guys might want to see Smokey, whom I mentioned in my last video. He's very, very cute. He will most likely get up at some point in this video, so hopefully you can see his face. He's a very cool guy. I feel bad for him because he has to be in this one room. Might build him like a little thing so he can go outside, but we'll see. I just want to be on fire tonight, so here I am again. Oh, sorry. I guess I was like, what can I talk about for like a while? There's more than one subject, I promise you. I was like, what can I talk about for like a while that I'm passionate about and that I care about? And I was like, ding. We're gonna talk about science fiction for the time being. So, I told you guys I saw Avatar recently. Avatar is really the only trying to think. I was like, when was the last science fiction movie I saw? Like, when was that? The only one I'm thinking of is Alien Romulus, and that came out last year. I'm sure there are more. I just probably haven't seen them. I am bummed there hasn't been more science fiction lately. I'm just kidding. I saw that dumpster fire that is called Mickey 17. Was that? It was Mickey 17, right? Saw that. Was annoyed with it, but I digress. So I don't know if you guys have watched that show Love and Robots. It's on Netflix. I think they're on some multiple season thing. I don't really know what the prompt for it is, but I was thinking about making like a skit. I'm probably not going to do it. I mean, maybe I will. Where everyone shows up. So it's just like these short episodes that are like, I think, less than 20 minutes long. And they're like Love and Robots is like a theme, right? Okay. Or Love and Robots is like applicable to the episodes, okay? And they're all individual stories. It's not a series. It's also not a mini series because the previous seasons aren't connected to the whatever new ones. Anyway, the sketch I wanted to make was like people showing up to a Love and Robots board meeting, and the person in charge says, okay, so I forgot to tell you guys, but the stipulation, I know you have all your scripts and everything, but the stipulation this year is that it can't be depressing and kind of have a Hunger Games feel to it. So what do you guys got? And everyone's just like, fuck, I don't have anything. Because that's what everyone writes right now, which really bothers me. Oh, look at Smokey. He's so cute. There, you can kind of see his face. Yeah, he's hanging out. He's a really cool guy. Oh, okay. I love you too. Yes, I do. You're a very nice boy. Yeah, life is rough, huh? You're a good boy. Yeah, so I'm honestly very sick of these like Hunger Games-esque, like kind of Hunger Games derivative, very depressing, futuristic stories. Like, call me old fashioned, you guys, but I would love to see a science fiction anything where it's actually very optimistic, where the future is at least visibly better or arguably better than where we're at now, right? Because all I'm saying in the newer season of Love and Robots, maybe there's a newer one. I'm talking about the one that came out last year. Every single episode was depressing and like sad and fucked up. Sometimes there was interesting action, but I'm like, I don't give a fuck about interesting action if the whole story is just like depressing, you know? Anyway, I think the reason that a lot of them are so depressing is because like people don't think our current society is building a better future, which is understandable. I can't fault anyone for thinking that. Actually, yes, I can. But I'm saying I understand why you would think that way. But I'm also saying that the science fiction created with that mindset is getting really fucking boring. Is my point. Okay? Hi. Hi, nice boy. I might pick him up, you guys, just so you can see him. He's so cute. Anyway, yeah, I think that's really fucking lame. I think that's really fucking lazy. I mean, I'm sure there are stories out there that are a lot more interesting, that are a lot more optimistic, that are a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? Just not as like fucked up and depressing and like a death cult, right? Because that's what a ton of science fiction is now. So I didn't know that. I'm gonna say it wrong. I'm gonna say it incorrectly, but you know what? The world's an imperfect place, you guys. I didn't know that the John Carter movie was like from such a famous, or the John Carter movie was from such a famous book. But, albeit this book was like very old, like extremely old, like over 100 years old. So, I don't know if you guys know this, but in the year, what year was it? I want to say somewhere in 2010 through 2013, there was this movie that came out by Disney, and it was called John Carter. And it was based on a story called A Princess of Mars by a guy named Edgar Rice Burroughs. Okay, so this story influenced tons of current science fiction, right? But A Princess of Mars is a much better title than John Carter, which is like some random ass common ass white dude's name, which I don't like. Who the fuck is interested in a title John Carter? Like, if someone had two books in front of you, like some random interviewer person had two books in front of you, and one was called John Carter and the other one was called A Princess of Mars, wouldn't just about 100% of people read A Princess of Mars over John Carter? We'd be fucking up with the titles lately. Anyway, I actually like the Hunger Games, okay? Don't get me wrong, you guys. I love the Hunger Games movies. Those are so much fun. I read all the books. I think that's actually... Hunger Games is actually one of the really rare... He's resting. It's one of the really rare occurrences where the movies are actually better than the books. And I mean that. I read books. They were pretty good. But the woman who wrote the books, Suzanne Collins, she was actually like an established screenwriter before she wrote the books. I'm not saying the books are bad. I just think they're actually better as movies, personally. And now we're getting another Hunger Games movie, which obviously I'm gonna go see. But the last one was like a it was kind of an origins story. I think it was the first ever Hunger Games. That was what the whole movie was about. And the main guy from the... You know what? I should watch that again and I should review it because I had really good notes for it. But one of the main guys was like working for the Capitol, and he was like questioning whether or not the Hunger Games were a good idea. And there was actually a lot of disagreement within the Capitol and everything, of people thinking like, oh, is this something we should be doing? Like, is this a good idea? That kind of thing. But then they actually show you why it becomes popular and why it becomes more of a thing. But anyway, yeah, I guess I just haven't been seeking out enough science fiction to really have a better idea of it. I mean, Obviously, there's been a lot of rehashing of stuff. Like whenever anything gets really, really popular, of course, there's going to be a ton of kind of rehashing of it. Enter Star Wars, which I'm actually so. I was telling my husband the other day, I'm actually so surprised that Disney was able to come up with something as good as The Mandalorian, because now we're going to have a Mandalorian movie, baby, which is exciting to me. I can't wait to see a Mandalorian movie. But yeah, there were tons of like Star Wars stories. Which in all seriousness, I stopped watching all those ones with like Kylo Ren and Ray. It lost my attention, fam. And I never thought I would say that about anything related to Star Wars, yet here we are. I watched that other Star Wars show. Name is escaping me, I guess because it wasn't memorable. Was it The Acolyte? I think that was it. That was okay, but like they're kind of fucking up the lore. You know, they're like going backwards and being like, actually, you could do this as a Jedi, and it's just like not making a ton of sense. But anyway, I was gonna talk about something else. Yeah, I guess I need to seek more stuff out. Bruh, the new Alien show, I'm into it. I like it. Obviously, it's not perfect, but I think it's fun. And like I said, Alien is really popular. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of like building upon that. Is it considered a franchise? I don't know. But there's going to be building upon that story, that IP, because it's popular. I'm not going to pick him out because I don't want to disturb him. You guys are going to see Smokey again. Don't worry, okay? I guess I'll tell you some of my favorite science fiction. And one of them is Gattaca. It's a great movie. Obviously, it has its faults too, but I love Gattaca. That came out in the 90s, obviously. There's a movie called AI, Artificial Intelligence. Came out in the year 2001. It's one of the most disturbing movies you will ever see in your entire life, but I promise you it's worth it, and I promise you it'll change your life. I don't know about the better or for the worse, but like that movie's gonna get you thinking. I'm telling you. And if it doesn't get you thinking, I think it's actually a good movie. Okay, I can't get over how good of an actor Haley Joel Osment is, but anyway, I'm trying to think of other good science fiction. Obviously, you guys know I'm an Avatar, but that goes without saying at this point on my channel. I'm not thinking of anything else. Obviously, I like Alien. I'm not thinking of anything else off the top of my head. Dune is really great. Well, if you guys have other science fiction, I actually haven't seen Logan's Run. Sorry. I've seen THX 1138 though. If you guys have any science fiction suggestions, like put them in the comments. Oh my gosh, Smokey's being so cute. I would show you him in his little thing right now, but I'm just gonna pick him up for you, okay? He's annoyed. Okay, I'm not gonna pick him up because it'll annoy him. He's really cute though. He's being adorbs in his little spot. Okay, bye.